Hello everyone, am I audible? Can you quickly confirm if I'm audible? Okay, great. So, okay, so let's start with today's agenda. So, you all are aware that we all have accumulated for the reason of we had received a number of applications for Cloud Community Days, and this is something we should be talking about. So, let me quickly start with introducing me and other people here. I am Jyoti Mishra. I'm working as a software development engineer with Evo's Microsystems. And along with me, I have Anubhav and Rimjim, who have been who will be sharing insights regarding their application and various application process. So let's quickly start with Let's quickly start with walking through the process of application. We all are aware that we all have applied for something or the other, be it a job application or be it something like an internship opportunities or be it something like applying for scholarship or travel grants or many other things, right? So if we look forward and look back into the entire thing, it is basically we have been rejected for not having the proper data with us, having the proper ability to showcase our skills. But then where we fail to write it down properly and showcase whatever we have done to the company properly, because the person on the other end, to whom you are the company or the organization to which you are writing your application, is not exactly knowing you personally. So you need to make your application stand out. And in order to do that, um, we need to start with writing proper applications. And things to mention in the application itself, we will go through the steps. So first things first, what do you write at the very first? Like, what do you think that when you apply for something, what is the first step that you do? Whenever we do apply for applications, right? So what is the first thing we do? We go to a website or a company's career site or event page or scholarship page, right? Wherever the announcement for application has been opened, we start with that. So first things first is, whenever we are applying for something, we must go ahead and read the instruction properly. I will go through, and the speakers with me will demonstrate about various application instructions written on the application page. uh, so for first and foremost thing we do is always make sure you read and follow the application instructions, as in the terms and the fields that has been mentioned already there. So then, after reading the application instruction, there it is written like for what role it is, for what position, or for what kind of people can apply, what kind of applicants they want. And basically you need to sort out that whatever field they ask for, you are fitting into that, and it this the place where you are applying for is a fit. Next is read the descriptions carefully. So first, after reading the application, after reading the application instruction itself, there are various fields or various descriptions written over there. You need to go through that and post checking that. Sorry, there are something wrong with my slides. Pardon me with that. So yes, first thing we talked about. So following the instruction, and our next task would be reading whatever has been written in the description. So in the description there are certain fields of the application. In the application form itself, what we need to what we tend to do whenever we are applying for, be it a job, be it an internship, be it a scholarship, it is basically we need to answer all the fields. Despite the field being optional, you should always look forward to answer it, and like not answering it with any random data, rather answering it for answering it for basically answering it for giving out your details to the person who is a person or organization who is letting that application out. For instance, say there is an application open, and there are fields like your personal website or github url, like github profile url, being given as an optional entry. Would you skip that? No. As a developer, it is important for you to like showcase, and it is important for you to like make yourself being counted as an applicant, because there, for any role there are a number of applications rolling in. So that is why we always need to like make sure we answer all the fields, we fill all the details properly, and of course very importantly, once we are like done filling, we do check, we should always go through and check what we have written, especially there should not be any grammatical error, there should not be any punctuation error, the details added should be accurate as possible. Next thing to take in mind would be, it is taking time to load the slide, one moment. Yes. So next thing is make your existence count. So as soon as you give out those social media profile URLs, your GitHub profile URL or anything else, what happens is people go to that particular link and want to see something which is very interesting, right? So update your profile with your projects, with your research works, with your certifications or whatever you do, so that your existence is on social media is not only for is not only there just being like this person is existent and living, rather it should be this person is existing, this person is living, and this person also does does projects on these fields which are helpful in my organization, so I will hire this person, or I will move forward to hire this particular person. So be nowadays like social media and GitHub profile, if you are a developer, is very important. So make your existence count on various platforms. Next thing is, how would you show your relevance to a position? Say you have applied for a intern at some company. How would you actually show that you are relevant to the particular position? In your answers, you will basically you'll basically explain everything which is asked according to, like, be it your project, be it your details, you will mark it as, you'll mark it according to the star technique. And what is star technique now? Any job, like say you are working as an intern somewhere, you will say that you, in what situation you were, what were the tasks you performed, what were the actions you did to like complete those tasks, and how it, like, what was the result of it. So in this way we can actually show, not only say that okay, I have made this project which is my portfolio, but rather you can say that I made my portfolio which became a platform for say 30 people to connect with me to design a website for them. So this is how, like, the situation was. You were a student, you are an student, and then you are like moving ahead with web development is the task, and then the action is you created a website which is like very good design and very like good in performance, and the result it did was it brought you some more work, or it brought into attention of your college, they gave you some work for developing their website. So this is how we like can explain our pointers instead of like just blabbering about, or instead of just like talking irrelevant things. So making the relevant statements is very important in your application process. Next is, moving forward, we have, okay, so re-evaluate and read whatever you have added. So once you have added everything into that, once you have added everything, every details into your application, you will go through your application. If possible, if it is a like, if you think like you are not able to evaluate it properly, take help from one of your seniors or anyone, and re-evaluate and read whatever answers you have added into that, and that will increase your chances of being selected or making your application stand out in that. And last but not the least, I know you all have questions regarding Cloud Community Days Kolkata. So we will be like answering those questions and taking those questions post Anubhav and Rimjam's session and Rimjam's explanation regarding how the application process goes. So let me introduce you with Anubhav, who has been leading and being an organizer with us at Google Developers Group Cloud Kolkata, and we have been like working together to bring and with so many other peoples to bring Cloud Community Days to you. Okay, so Anubhav, over to you.
Hi, Jyoti. Thank you for introducing me. And hi, everyone. Yeah, it's been a long while since we all got together on an online session, and I know all of you have been very excited for Cloud Community Days, right? Yeah, I still see like right now there are questions about Cloud Community Days. Did someone remove me from the stream?
Uh, is it so? One moment.
Yep. Thank you. Yeah.
I think you're there.
Yeah. Hi, I'm back. So what is going on? Okay, couple of glitches. Let's give me a minute. Yep. Let me remove this presentation. Okay. So what we are going to do right now, I'm going to talk to you about scholarships and the application process. Right. Anyone has any guesses about which scholarship I'm going to talk about? Which scholarship is open right now? Has applications open. I'm not talking about Cloud Community Days, guys. Remember that. Which scholarship? and it's a great one. Honestly, it's an amazing one. No idea. Hmm. Venkat Sagnik knows. Yeah, I'm going to talk about the Venkat Panchvacation Memorial Scholarship, and this is one of the most exclusive and prestigious scholarships which is provided by Google. So I am going to share my screen. There we go. This is what I'm talking about, people. This is the Venkat Panchvacation Scholarship in India. It was initially known as Venkat Panchvacation Memorial Scholarships. And this is a scholarship in the memory of a beloved engineer and leader, Venkat Panchpatation, who was working with Google and YouTube before his untimely demise. Right, so it is in his memory and to celebrate the kind of person he was. Right, so what kind of person do you think would be so important that they would roll out a scholarship in his name? Right, so Venkat was a person who was associated with being very friendly, very loving, always trying to do the best for everyone, keeping the room happy, all those things, right? And trying to bring about development, even in the technical field, trying to bring about development in such a way that it was always useful, did not cause harms, and it was his idea that tech should be ethical all the time, right? So Venkat was this amazing person, and this is in his memory. The application deadline is 14th of August, which is 2 days from now. Yeah, I believe we are a bit late on getting on this session, but let's try to make the best of it. You still have 2 days, and a lot can be done, right? Both the days are working days, I believe, so you can still make something out of this, right? This year, initially, it used to be a physical retreat in the YouTube office at San Francisco, but this time there's a virtual retreat and there's a much higher prize money. The scholarship money is 25,000 USD, which is, if you convert it to the Indian currency, it's actually a good amount, right? It can actually cover a lot of your semesters if you want to cover your semesters using that, or if you want to buy the best laptop to do your work, it can get you that, or if you want to just use it for any other education related expense, you could do it using this scholarship money, right? And what are they looking for? University students, you should be a current university student, you should be aspiring to become a computer scientist and technology leader, right? So if you just want to get into a job very quickly and you write on your application that I just want to get a job, this is probably not going to get you selected, right? You need to write an answer which says that you want to you are looking forward to being a technology leader in your maybe the local community, or whoever is there around you, maybe your college friends, maybe nearby colleges as well, right? But you need to mention that you want to lead, you want to, you should put in your answers such that it comes out that you want to lead, help people understand technology, get people into technology, right? So this is one. Exemplify leadership skills and a demonstrated passion for computer science and technology. Now, this is very important, right? Venkat was such a person. Venkat was an amazing leader, right? And he had a very strong passion for computer science and technology, and that is what they are looking for in people who apply for this scholarship, right? And yeah, if you write your answers in such a way for this application, uh, that you just want to get a job, or maybe you come out with hey, look at this, I created this project. Yes, you created a lot of cool projects, but where is the leadership skill in that, right? You created 5 very cool projects alone. How did you help your local community with that, right? What you want to do is you want to do some projects with a team. You want to show that there was a team of people who learned together and grow together while they were working on that project. That is what they are looking for. Okay, so you need to show that you have a very strong passion for computer science, and at the same time, you should be a very good leader. And to show that, there are a bunch of things like the one I mentioned, and there are other things as well you could do. You could be running a tech club at your college, and uh, regularly conducting sessions about technology, and making your peers and your college mates introduce them to technology, and you know help them better their skills, right? So that is very important, and it actually shows that you have good leadership skills, and you have a passion for computer science and technology. Communicates the responsive message with thought and clarity. Now this is very important, right? You should be able to communicate whatever you want to convey with a very strong clarity, right? And this is important because as a leader, if you think about the best leaders you have known, what is one thing which is common between all of them? Take a guess. I'll wait for you guys to think about this. What quality do you think makes a leader great, right? There are a lot of leaders in the world, but what makes a leader amazing? Any guesses? Excellent communication skills, yes. Grow together. Which leaders demonstrate growing together? Like how are you able to see leaders demonstrating that they are growing together? Is that possible? Vision, okay. Yes. Inclusivity of his teammates, very nice point. Easy connected with people, yes. Giving back to the community, very nice. Speaking and communication skills. Uh, if you look at all these points, what do they tell you? What is the person doing exactly? That person is very good at communicating what he thinks, and he is able to lead people into the direction he wants them to go to, right? Now this is what makes you very great leader, and at the same time it also helps the people who are around you to find the person, the person being you, uh, who will be able to guide them, and guide them towards something better. So that is what you look for in a leader, right? Whenever you are in a team and whenever you appoint a leader, the goal that you have from appointing that leader is that whatever mission you as a team are trying to accomplish, that should get accomplished, right? And if you have a leader who is not communicating with you, think about that, right? If there's a leader who does not answer to your queries, he does not ever talk to you, do you think that's going to work? No, right? It's seriously not going to work. And maybe in your past you have seen such leaders who have stumbled at communication, and that has led to their downfall, right? So any good leader will always be very good with communicating. And when you say ownership, yes. Okay, now ownership is an entirely different story, which I could actually talk about for a long while. But definitely, ownership is one such quality between all the leaders. And although coming back to the part which I've highlighted, the communication part. So let's stick to that. Ownership is a very long story that I really like talking about that. So let's not get deviated, right? Yeah, communication is important, right? Even right now, if you think, even during this session, if I was not, if I was not able to communicate my ideas properly to you, will you get anything out of this session? No, right? So for you to get something out of this session, you want me to be able to communicate properly, right? And that is what a leader does. The leader has some thoughts, he has some ideas, he has some knowledge, and he puts it down into easy words, right? The words cannot be very difficult. You can't all be, if the entire Indian government became Shashi Tharoor, uh, we would have a very tough time filling government forms, right? And getting things done. So, yeah, you cannot always be, with very long and big words. Uh, I remember Shashi Tharoor actually told us a word about long and big words. I forgot that. Uh, yeah, but the point is, your words should be very easy. Your communication should be very easy. You should be saying words that hit the mind of the person who is listening to you, right? So, yeah, communication should be very clear, and the messages should be very uh, very concise, very hitting, very easy to understand for the people you are trying to lead. Kunal has a question. He says, if you're from EC engineering, I'm not eligible to apply. Uh, yeah, I do not think that is true. Because as far as I understand, um, you're fine to submit if you are good with computer science and you have in the past helped people understand computer science and technology in general, right? So yeah, I do not think you should be ineligible to apply, um, because I know a lot of people who have studied EC and other branches as well, who I believe would be like very good candidates for this scholarship, right? And as far as I know, they are all eligible to apply. Although I may be mistaken, because the last time I applied for this was in 2019. It's been 3 years. Rules change, terms and conditions change. Yeah, I haven't read this. But as far as I can see, there's no mention of you being a CSE student as such. Um, so I hope you should be good. It is written that it is for computer science students. Yeah, I'll have to see. I did not see the exact wording. Yeah, I'm not sure if where that is written in the eligibility section. I'll go through it, Kunal, and I'll definitely answer that to you later. Maybe like after the gym session. Yeah. So that's it, right? I was talking about the third point, and then finally have a great financial need. Now, this is very important, right? Not a lot of us have a great financial need. Can you, uh, if you think about it, right? A lot of us here probably have it sorted that their next semester's fees will be paid by some way or the other. It may be an educational loan, maybe something else, but it will be paid. You probably have that very clearly on your side, right? If you're a student right now. So uh, this may not be a great scholarship for you, right? Because what they are looking for are people who are actually in need of that money. Because there's no point in giving it to someone who has everything sorted, right? They have nothing to worry about. Life is good. Uh, it is not for them exactly. So whenever you are writing your application, um, try to show that you really have a need, right? It is not like those Coursera financial help applications where you write pretty much anything and you get approved. That is not going to happen. You will have to demonstrate it, that you really need the money, and you probably have to give a very good reason why you need the money. In the application, you will probably have a section where you need to write this. If you do not have a separate section for this, include it with any other sections in which you are writing about why you are a good fit for this scholarship, why you are a great candidate for this scholarship. Write it there. Mention why you have a financial need, right? Maybe to cover your semester fees, maybe to buy a laptop because you do not currently have one or it's outdated. It could be anything, right? It depends on you. It seriously depends on what need you have personally. Yeah, that's it. There are some terms and conditions. Yeah, I did not read all of them, but the most important part is this: it must be spent on tuition fees, books, supplies, and equipment required for the students' classes at their primary university. Right? Do not spend it on partying. Do not buy a house with it. Do not go on a trip. Right? Do not do all that. If it is anyhow proven that you have used the scholarship amount for that, you might land in trouble, because that is not going to go down well with the scholarship committee, right? So make sure that you're spending it on valid educational reasons, right? Okay, so scholarship recipients must be enrolled as full-time students for the academic year 2022 and 23. So if you are passing out in 23, you are still eligible. But if you have already passed out in 2022, you are not eligible. And if you are not yet enrolled in a college or in the you are not eligible for it. Sorry. You will be next year, so please stay on the lookout. And you already know about this scholarship now, so maybe you can give a better application next year. Yeah. Uh, So here's this, right? We will revoke the award for any scholar who does not maintain the eligibility requirements, and I guess this is one of them, right? Where you spend it. Um, okay, so this is pretty much the terms and conditions. Yeah. So if you have applied before, you can still reapply, and international students cannot apply. This exclusively for computer science students who have. Okay, so it does not mention you are enrolled in a computer science course, although I'm not pretty sure if EC students are not allowed to apply. Yeah. Okay. There's this. How do I send in my application? Fill it on the form which is available here by clicking apply now, and format should your resume be in? It should be in a doc or a doc format. Basically, create a Google Doc and put your resume on it. I will suggest do not go beyond 3 pages because yeah, you do not also want to stick to one-page resume for this. This is not a job resume, and you want to include a lot of things that you have done, right? So go ahead, make it like 2 or 3 pages. That's fine. Personally, like when I submitted my application. It was 3 pages, right? And it got selected. So we know that it works. Uh, yeah, be sure to include your experience in area of computer science and your leadership experiences and the impact that you have created. Now, this is very important, right? The impact that you have created, right? How do you say that you have actually led a lot of people, right? You will have to mention the numbers, throw in the numbers, right? And put in concrete numbers. Do not just blow it up, right? If you did a session for 40 people, don't write 400, write 40. That matters. They just want to see that you are very honest about whatever you are writing. Do not fabricate anything. Whatever you have done, mention it here. Do not blow it up. Do not undersell. Right? If you did a session for 40, don't say it's 10. That's not going to get you anything. It was 40. Put it 40. Please ensure that you name the file with the naming convention. Make sure you share it with anyone with the link, right? And now they are saying that there has to be some naming convention. Uh, Look at the links below. So they have provided some naming convention, I believe, over here, and maybe over here as well. Yeah, this is very interesting. It opens the Russian site for me. I'm not sure why. Yeah. Which format should I submit my documents in? Google Docs or Doc, right? Nothing else, just these. There will be no extensions, so yes, get it done before 14. And yeah, stick to English. Do not write it in different languages. Uh, yeah, list examples of leadership within your wider technology community. This is basically running a college club, and maybe some impact that you have created outside the club as well. Maybe you have participated in Google Developer Group events like GDZ, GDZ Kolkata or GDZ Cloud Kolkata. If you have participated in them, mention that. It shows that you have, you have gone to these events and then you came back and you helped others understand about these communities. That is actually important. That is good. This might include teaching, tutoring, lecturing, mentoring, organizing summits, conferences, workshops, hackathons, or contributing to open source projects, right? So all these are very important. See, I'm telling you, there will be no explicit question, right? Write about the conferences that you have organized. Write about the workshops that you have organized. There will be no explicit question like this, but write about it. If you have done it, write about it, right? And yeah, if you don't write about it, it does not exist. Simple as that. If you have not written it in your application, it did not happen. Okay, so there's the essay, and yeah, this is probably the most important part of the application. Uh, right? Okay, 400 words per question. That's a lot of text, right? That's a lot of text. So, what is going to be in that text is very important. And this is what Rimjim will be talking about. I'll quickly skip to the next section, recommendation letter. You need to get a recommendation letter from, if you're selected, right? Before Previously, it used to be that everyone needed to submit a recommendation letter, but this time it's like only after you're selected, you need to provide the recommendation letter, and this will be provided by uh, maybe a faculty, hopefully a faculty who is like maybe your HOD or someone who teaches you, or maybe. someone who is a faculty in the same college but not your teacher directly, although that is not preferred. uh, or else maybe someone who you have worked with in the past, and you can actually show that, yeah, I have worked with this person in the past. Maybe your internships, maybe you volunteered somewhere. Like for example, we have a number of volunteers this year at Cloud Community Days. So if they ask us for recommendations, yes, we will be able to provide them, right? Because in our time we used to get two recommendation letters. One of them was from my HOD, and the other was from the GDG, the then GDC lead, right? So that is how it worked. So if you have volunteered in any GDC events, you can always ask us for recommendation letters to Google scholarships. There are a number of Google scholarships which ask you for such recommendation letters, and we will be able to provide it to you. Okay, you can mail them about your questions. You can also ask us about your questions. We'll be trying to answer as many as we can. Although there's this one tricky part where it says this exclusively for computer science students. Um, yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe someone else knows, or maybe you could just mail it over here. Over here. Yeah. So that's from my side, and I will again come back to the essay, and I will leave it to Rimjim to explain it in greater detail. This is pretty much the most important part of the application. Okay. Hi, Rimjim. Are you there? Let's add you to the stream. Hi.
Hey, hi. Am I audible?
Yes.
Cool. So, yeah, let's. I guess we can start, right?
Yeah, yeah. Do you want to share your screen? I'll stop sharing mine.
Not really. So I don't have any slides.
Sure. I'll just
Yeah,
leave it
sure.
here then.
Cool then. Okay. So hi everyone. I'm Rimchim Badani, and I'm currently working as a software engineer at Amazon. I am a 2020 graduate from IEM Kolkata, post which I joined Amazon as a full-time employee. And let's talk about a bit about my college days. So yeah, as mentioned by GDG Cloud Kolkata, I've been a Google Venkat scholar in the year 2018. I've also been a Grace Hopper scholar, apart from many other travel grants and scholarships. So yeah, so today we'll be talking about tips, tricks, and steps that we can follow when you write the essay questions, right? So, as Anubhav mentioned, there's a specific section which in which you need to answer some of the essay questions. The questions would be mentioned in the Google form, and at this point, I'm just not talking about Venkat scholarship. There's also Grace Hopper scholarship. You might have heard about Google Developer Students Club chapters in various colleges. So while you apply for that, you also need to write some of the essay answers. So let's bundle them up and talk about the steps which you can follow everywhere, right? So the first thing which I always used to do is research about the scholarship. So when we talk about Venkat scholarship, right, as Anubhav mentioned, Venkat Panchpakeshan was actually a person who used to work for Google and YouTube in the past and has done many amazing stuff. So it's always good that you do your research, do understand why a particular organization is giving such a huge amount, right? Like $2,500 is not a nominal amount. Like even when you convert it to Indian rupees, it goes to a huge amount, right? So just understand why an organization is giving such a huge amount and how would you benefit from it. There's also a Grace Hopper celebration for which scholarships are given by Anita Berg Institute. So Grace Hopper is an American female scientist. So understand why is Anita Berg Institute giving this scholarship? Why they fly people into USA every year, sponsor the entire trip, the entire travel and stay, um, and why are they actually doing it? So it's very good to understand the motive to understand the objective behind the scholarship. It would help you to write better answers. It would help your points to align with the scholarship motives, which eventually make a very good and strong application for your own self, right? Yeah. So the next thing that you can follow is try to try to connect with previous scholars, right? Like I am one of them, Anubhav is other one. There might be around 20 to 30 Venkat scholars till now. Plus, if you're applying for any other thing, right, be it a GDSC application or Grace Hopper application or any other thing, any other travel grant, right? So it's not happening for the first time. There might be people in the past who have won it, who have been through the same procedure. So it's always good to connect with them, to see how like to understand what is their background, right? So you would be able to understand that, okay, this is the kind of person that I need to be, or this is a particular background which I should have when I am applying for the application, right? That being said, it's absolutely fine to have your own story, right? Everyone has their own story. It doesn't really mean that if I had one Venkat scholarship in say 2018 and I had a book published during the same year, doesn't mean that you also need to publish a book before applying to the scholarship. It just means that try to understand the backgrounds and where the people are coming from, right? And at the same time, if when you try to connect with the previous scholars, it would give you an opportunity to get your answers proofread by them before you submit your applications, right? So that's another good point when you try to connect with the previous scholars, right? Another thing to think about is look into yourself, right? Now say at this point we know why the scholarship exists and who are the people who won the scholarship, right? So look into yourself, think about yourself, like what is the work that you have done till now, what are your ambitions, what are your goals, how do you plan to use technology uh, to better the future for others, right? So think about yourself. And when I say think about yourself, doesn't really mean keep your thoughts in your head. Sit down, take a pen and a paper and write things down. You might have built multiple web applications, mobile applications, or any other software projects, right? So when you start, what do? You take a pen and paper, sit down, jot down your points, right? Do a brainstorming session. So we do a brainstorming sessions about different technical projects that we are working on. At this point, you need to do a brainstorming session about your own self, right? Think about what you have done till now, the sessions which you have taken, the projects that you have worked on and whatnot, right? Just write down minor points, and later we would see how you can club them together and build a good answer, right? So just write down and write everything down, right? Let's not filter till now. We will filter it later. There's a word limit, we will filter it later, but that is a later step. So that's so at this point we are just writing the points down, right? Now the next thing to do is think about the question. One trick which I have used in my previous applications is I go into the form, right? If you look at the Venkat scholarship program form, it's a Google form and it has multiple pages. So initially, what you can do is fill in some dummy answers, go to the next pages, see what are the fields that are required to be filled in, right? And go, like just extract all of them out, put it in a Google Doc, then prepare the answers and then fill it finally and then submit it. At this point we are not submitting it, we are just putting some dummy answers because there are fields which are mandatory to answer. and you cannot go into the next page without doing it, without answering them. So just put in dummy answers, go to the next page, extract the questions out, and put it in a Google Doc, so that you know, right, that these are the answers, or these are the fields which I need to build. These are the documents which I need to collate before applying for the scholarship, right? So do that. At times, what happens is a question has two parts, right? Like if I read one of the questions from Venkat scholarship program itself, just give me a minute. Yeah, it says, what is the significant financial challenge that you have faced or seen others face? How will this scholarship amount ease this financial burden for yourself or others who are currently needing additional support? Right. So if you look at this question carefully, you'll see that there are two parts. So what happens is when people apply, they apply in a rush. They miss out on the second part. They start writing about the first part. Say out of 400 words, they have utilized 350 words on the first part, and now only 50%, 50 words are remaining for the next question. Don't do that. And at times, right? So what you are supposed to do is uh, pull out the questions beforehand, uh, create a proper balance between the two parts, right? Like if you look at the question, it is always like one part is a problem in which you are describing a problem, and the second part is about the solution which you think can mitigate the problem, right? So create a proper balance between the two questions, and then write it down, right? And when I talk about pulling answers out, right, so at times you're not even required to go into the application forms. These travel grants and programs, they always have a very standard question, and if you do some Google search, you would always be able to find out like what are the questions that they talk that they are that you are required to fill in, right? So it's always good to extract out the questions by some means beforehand, if you are able to do that, right? And this really doesn't mean that you're mailing the organizers of the scholarship asking what are the questions that I am able to answer, but doing your own research on your end and figuring out the questions beforehand, right? At the same time, let's think about this. This is not your semester exam, right? You don't have 180 minutes to answer the questions, right? You would ideally have 20 days, a month. At times it's more than a month, right? uh, uh, to submit the application. So you have a very good amount of time in your hand, if you start properly to think about the questions and to think about your own answers. So what I generally tended to do was I extracted the questions out, put them in a Google Doc, and just leave them there, right? I read it and I just left it, and then I used to think about it for like 2 3 days, right? If you have been doing competitive coding or have been practicing on code, fleet code for that matter, you might be into this habit, right? You might be into this habit where you read the question and then you go play, talk to your friends, and the solution eventually comes to you. So yeah, so that is the thing, right? Spend some time with the question, think about it, right? I think there's a comment which says the deadline is 14th August, but then also you have two questions and you have 2 days left. So of course you cannot take it for like 3 4 days, but then yes, you do have more than 3 hours. You can spend at least 6 7 hours with each of the question and think about it, collate your thoughts, and then start building the answers, right? So it's always good to give a good right? Yeah. So at this point uh, we know about the scholarship. Why is it there in the first place, right? We know the people who have won the scholarship, and we know all about your own self, right? You have did a brainstorm, so you know what are the points you need to write. And then yeah, and then you also know about the questions, right? Like these are the questions which I need to write. So start writing them down. Like if you remember in the step 2 what we did, we jotted down the points, right? So start building your paragraphs, because of course you cannot submit the bullet points in there, right? So start like building your own paragraphs. And when I say build your own paragraphs, be aware that there are two questions at times there might be a video that you need to submit. I think it's not required with Venkat scholarship this time, but then yeah, there would be a couple of questions or more than that, right? So make sure that you draw proper boundaries about yourself. Sorry, I mean to say that you need to draw proper boundaries between the answers, what you're writing, right? Say you have two questions. In the first one you wrote that you have volunteered in GDG Cloud Kolkata for Cloud Community Days 2022, right? So you don't need to mention it in the second answer. You can utilize those words somewhere else, right? Talking about some other project, talking about some of your other community engagements. So make sure that you are segregating the points, like what points should go into your first answer, what are the points which should go into your second answer, what are the points which might go into your video, what are the points that might go into your letters of recommendations. So it's better to draw boundaries between the stuff that you have, right? And then start writing them down. And the next point, right? I think Anubhav has already talked about it. It's very important to be authentic, right? Don't oversell yourself. If you have done something, make sure that you are putting that in, like in the most authentic way. You're not saying you have done a project if you have not really worked on it. So it's very important that you are writing all the authentic points. And it's always good to throw in numbers, throw in statistics, right? Like say you have built a website for finding oxygen cylinders during pandemic, right? And it helped 200 people. So make sure that you would write that it helped 200 people. You have started a technical club in your college, and it helped. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, so it's always good to throw in statistics, and it would help in creating a good impression about yourself. And at the same time it would also help in uh, reflecting in showcasing that the thing that you are doing is authentic, right? So it's very important that you prove that. So yeah, so that's another thing. uh, Next thing you can talk about, so let's skip the LOR for now, because it's like only if you get selected. But yeah, if I talk about in a very crisp way, it's better to have two recommenders from two different backgrounds, right? One from your academic side and other from your community involvements that you have, right? So it's better to do that. At times, next point to take care about is optional fields, right? So what people do is they tend to skip the fields that are marked as optional, right? If we talk about so everyone is very excited about Cloud Community Days, right? If we talk about the application form in there, I think the GitHub, the LinkedIn, the blog, right? All of those three fields were optional. So there might be a few of you who thought that, okay, if this is optional, let's not right, let's not fill it in, right? But if a field is optional, it's more important to fill it in than the mandatory fields. So what happens is, they make you stand out from the other, I don't know, 50-60% of the applicants who have not filled in the optional fields, right? Like if I talk about the Venkat scholarship form, right now, there's this section. If you go into the Google form, there's this section where you need to talk about extracurricular activities and work experience, right? If you open the form, you should be able to see it. But then, that point, that entire part is optional, right? If you keep it blank, you would be able to go into the next page. But then but then, it's important that you fill it in, uh, because it would help the scholarship reviewers judge you. How do you stand out from others, right? So it's very important to fill in optional fields. And let's talk about one more point here. I said that CCD Kolkata, right? They had option field about LinkedIn, right? So what people might think is, if they are asking about LinkedIn profile, let's just go create a LinkedIn profile and fill it in, right? That's not how it goes. When they say that they require a particular field, they are asking it to understand your background, your work better. So invest time, build in a good profile, right? And it won't happen in like a couple of days or a week or so. You might need to work for years before getting it built, before building a good strong LinkedIn profile. So it's important that you start investing in it. Start getting yourself engaged in the programs that would help you in building a good GitHub profile, building a good LinkedIn profile, right? Like at this point, there might be a few of you who would think that, okay, I've not done this thing, or if it like I don't have any projects right now, which like I don't have any project right now which would uh, you know um which could help me in getting selected, right? But then you can always go and apply next year, and by that time make sure that you have built that project, you have made that amount of contribution in LinkedIn, you have made that amount of contribution in your GitHub, and you have a very heavy profile, right? Don't give scholarship reviewers a chance to reject you, by saying that, okay, his LinkedIn profile has only two connections, his GitHub repository, his GitHub profile is completely blank, right? So build good profiles. At times it might take time, but it's always worth the wait, right? Now, let's talk about word limits, right? So Venkat scholarship very clearly says that each answer should have like should be done in a 400 word, right? 400 words, right? So it's very important that you respect that. You should understand that there might be, I don't know, thousands of people applying to the scholarship, and only 1% of them would get selected, right? So and but at the same time, they have thousands of applications to review. So don't just go ahead and write, I don't know, 5-6 pages about yourself. So because that would just mean that the reviewers would omit your entry, saying that he doesn't respect the application he has written. So much big application, where while we have mentioned a very clear instruction that your answer should not go beyond 400 words. So it's very very important that you stick to your word limit. And when I say very very important, we be very strict with it. There are multiple tools, and even Google Doc offers tools where you can just count the number of words uh, for your answers, right? So make sure you do that. And when I say stick to your word limit, don't doesn't mean that when you are starting to write your answer, you are just uh, you have this in your back of your mind that you need to write 400 words. So you make sure that you are writing 400 words in your first go, right? That is not how it should go. Write 2 3 pages, but make sure that you filter it out. Make sure you cut your answers short, and then you make it 400 words. And when I say 400 words, I mean 400 words. Doesn't mean that you need to stick, that you need to make your answers short and do it in 300 words, right? You have 400 words, make each of that word count, right? 400 words is a lot, but then 400 words mean that, doesn't mean like 300 or 500, right? If you utilize those words correctly, it's a lot, right? So make sure that you do that. And the next thing is, get your answers reviewed, right? So once you have all your fields filled in, when I say filled in, I mean in the Google Doc that we created in step 3, right? Where you extracted out all the questions, you fill in there, create a draft, and then get it reviewed. You can get it reviewed by previous scholars. There are many previous scholars who are very happy to do that. Yeah, just give me one second. Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, so make sure that you get it reviewed. People give different perspectives. There might be mistakes that you might have overlooked. There might be grammatical errors that you might have overlooked. So it's good to get it reviewed by previous scholars, and you have already stalked them and have created connections with them, right? And going to the last point, it's always worth a try. So don't filter yourself out. There are reviewers to filter you. So go ahead and apply. Even you have 2 days left, go ahead and apply. You would be familiar with the process this time, and maybe you can build a good application and good essay answers and come back next year. So yeah, it's always worth a try. So go ahead and fill it out. So yeah, that's all from my end. Mm, I guess one of the organizers can come up and take you forward.
Hi all. Thank you, Rimjim, for a great session and all the insightful details. Right, it's really important for you to make your application right. That is the most important part about having an application process. So yeah, we will be taking all your questions. We will be taking all your questions about Cloud Community Days. I have with me Jyoti as well. Um, we'll be also making a number of announcements, but just for a very short while, I'm going to share my screen for a very exciting video that we have got premiering just now uh, in like 1 minute. Okay, let me share my screen, and I hope you'll be able to listen to the audio. Yep. So here's it, and premiere will begin shortly. Okay, let us wait for 9:05. I hope you're all able to see the screen. If you want, you could also, go ahead and see it directly from the YouTube page as well. Like you could open it in a new tab, this link, and yeah, this is the link. You can open it in a new tab right now, and you can probably put in some comments, see it in like a big screen instead of me sharing the screen. Uh, yeah, let's wait for it to come. I'm going to put all the focus on this. Okay, okay, that was all. Okay, yeah, the teaser will not be longer. The teaser will not be longer. We were waiting for people to jump in because we had this session running. Yeah, let me close that. Great. So, about the questions that you all had, before we take the questions, very small announcements. I guess we can get Jyoti back. Jyoti, are you there? Yep, Jyoti is here. Yeah, Jyoti, can you come on the stream? Hi.
Hey, okay.
Okay, so Jyoti, very quickly giving it to you for making the announcements about hackathon and then the app.
Sure. So we have, like, you all might have been, like, those of you who follow us on social media, you know that we announced the link for applications are open for hackathon, and we are having an online hackathon next week starting from Friday, and it will run for 2 days, where all the students studying in any engineering branch or non-engineering branch, like, they can apply. All the rules are there on the GitHub page itself, which has been created and which is shared on our social media, so you can hop on and quickly, like, take a look on that. I will even paste the link for applications into chat. So what you need to do that here, it is called Cloud Community Hack Day, and you can come on, like, create your own team, apply, build some awesome stuff, and then there are rewards coming in with it. So we won't disclose the final rewards, but then the winner of the hackathon would get a direct, not, there won't be a single winner, there would be more than one teams who would be winning it, and the winning teams would get their tickets to Cloud Community Days conference confirmed. So those of you who are concerned about their application still being under reviewed, if you want that to be confirmed and want to showcase your technical skills as well, you can go ahead and join us for hackathon and showcase your projects there. So make sure you go ahead and participate and register your team there, as well as we are having an app launching for Cloud Community Days, which will be having much more interesting stuff. So Anubhav can explain a bit more about the app. Anubhav, over to you.
Hi everyone. Yeah, very quickly about the app. Let me share my screen. And assuming a lot of you have the Google Play Store on your phones, you can actually try it right away. Uh, Sharing my screen. There's the App Store. Go to the App Store, click on the search button, and type in CCD Kolkata 2022. Hit enter, and oh no, looks like our app is down. Anyway, when you search for this, you should be able to get the app. There's something wrong with my search, so yeah, not able to help you. But yes, if you go ahead and search CCD Kolkata 2022 on the App Store, you should be able to find it. Let me quickly change my account. Which account am I logged in with? Switch account. Yeah, there we go. Let me choose the right account. Let me search CCD Kolkata 2022. You go there. You get the app. I hope you're able to see my screen. You get the app and you can install it on your devices, right? And it has all the information about the event. But here comes the big thing, right? We are bringing referrals to the app, and yeah, let me just quickly type it: Google Play Store, CCD Kolkata 2022. Yeah, this is what you need to search. Yep. And we are bringing referrals to this, and referrals basically means that if you are referring, you know, 25 or more people to join the event through this app, we will be having a mystery goodies box for you. And trust me, it will be good, right? Those of you who have attended GDG sessions, whenever we say a mystery goodies box, it is always good, right? So, yeah, we will be having a mystery goodies box for you. And then if you cross another milestone of referrals, we will actually give you a ticket to the conference. How does that sound? Waiting for reactions, guys. Yeah, this is very interesting. Like, I'm not sure why is it showing me all these recommendations. Maybe because I'm kind of fat. Sad. Yeah, that is sad. Uh, just saying that the referral system is being implemented, and once it is out, you will be able to make referrals and win goodies, and maybe ticket to the event. And yeah, if you refer, then it's a great way of sharing the idea of Cloud Community Days with all your friends and your network. And yeah, just be sure that to be able to refer and to you get the referral benefits, all the signups will have to be done through the app, right? Through the app, not from the website, right? You will get the referral code in the app, you will send it to your friends, and they have to install the app and then put your referral code in the app, right? So that is how it's going to work. You cannot do it from the website. That will not work, right? So this is an app only feature, and hope you will love it. So yeah, that was the app, and then finally giving it back to Jyoti for the rest of the content.
Thank you, Anubhav. So I hope you thank you, Anubhav, and I hope you all enjoyed like seeing exactly what we like talked about today, and you literally took something away about the application. So we are ready to have. Okay, so what will be the referral code? How many referrals need to be Okay, so the current program which we are running is the referral. Like when you sign in into the app, you'll be able to see the referral part of it, and whenever you share that particular link to one of your friends, basically you'll be sharing your referral code with them, and when they sign up inside the app, like they need to go download the app, install it, and then they have to paste your referral code while signing up. As soon as they do that, you will have a one successful referral, and doing 25 such successful referrals would land you to this mystery goodies box which Anubhav announced. So yes, can I apply for the ticket through the app? Yes, you can. So like it will be the same process, just filling the applications correctly after signing up, and there will be like more such things coming up on the app itself post that. If you have any other questions related to Cloud Community Days, we can address that. Otherwise we like go ahead, watch the conference teaser, and let us know how you liked it and how excited you are about Cloud Community Days in the comments. Also there would be like much more important announcements and quizzes and many more things coming up on the app only, so make sure you install the app. Okay, yeah, tell a friend that the referral section is coming in the next update. It's in review, as in no, because as soon as you do that, the referral thing, like we are launching the referral part soon, so as soon like the sooner you install the app, the higher are the chances that as soon as you get into like get to see that feature. Is there any way to edit application for Cloud Community Days, which is still no, because we were aligned to this thought that people applying for Cloud Community Days pay attention in the one go itself, and there's no any way to edit the application, like which is under review. But if you have like filled the fields properly, you need not to worry. If you haven't, then um, to cancel your previous application and apply it from a new email, you need to mail us as well, because duplicate applications would not be considered for uh, evaluation. I had applied 3 weeks ago but didn't receive any update. The ticket is under review. Don't want to miss this event. Uh, so this particular thing has been happening, that the tickets are not only first come first serve basis, but rather it is going through the value or the quality of the profiles and URLs you have added. So the entry which is more sound is preferred over the entry which was done firstly. And unless your until and unless your ticket is like your status application status shows declined, till it is under review, you can consider that you might get a chance if you have filled the all the fields properly. The support email is there on our website, so you can go ahead and take a look. Okay, fine. Do we have any other questions, or are we good? Okay, great. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. Go ahead, join us on our Telegram group, follow us on the other social medias, subscribe to our channel, because you might will be seeing a lot of like good content and quality sessions on YouTube as well. Stay tuned. Thank you so much. Anubhav, you have anything else to add? I think we are good. I haven't mentioned enough some things. Okay, so if you think that you have like overlooked the application process in the very first time, that is not something we expected. We expected everyone's full attention. But then, if you want to reapply from a new email, you can go ahead, apply, like sign up and apply from this new email. And then you must send us an email so that we don't actually overlook your basically there's a process where duplicate applications gets rejected automatically. So that like we can check and take it into consideration, you must reach out to us with which email to be considered. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for joining, and see you soon on. Stay tuned with our like with all our social media platforms. All the announcements would be made via Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and our LinkedIn official pages. And stay tuned with our YouTube channel for a few more informative and amazing sessions coming up. Thank you.